This is going to be recorded for the purposes of teaching. Again, thank you for being here today with me. Again, you can go live, as you can see, with me on Facebook, or you can come on Zoom as well. So I am going to post this in my other development groups. Give me a moment here to do that. Hope everybody is doing wonderful and working at it on this beautiful Friday evening. Okay. And we will get started in a moment. So while I'm sending the invites, everyone can kind of gather in here. Okay. So, brilliant. And one moment. Gather in here. Hi everybody. Hello, hello. Gather in. And again, you guys can join me. You can join me on Zoom, or you can just simply join me here. I'll be checking both. I have someone that has joined me on Zoom already, but I will be checking both, okay? Give me a moment here to be able to get the link for this video so that I can, again, share in my other groups. So everyone is streaming with me here. One sec, and again, I appreciate your patience. So I'm going to do it through my phone. So the moment here to do one is okay, brilliant. So today's topic is being a beginner. And I think it's very important to talk about it because I feel like just looking at the responses of the post, you know, that there has definitely been a lot of not knowing going on, and just connecting with the comments that you guys put below when I said, you know, you're not making it up. This is real. This is, you know, really happening. Where you imagine is where you dream, which is where you see spirit. It really made sense to a lot of you guys. And a lot of times we don't want to talk about our fears, or, you know, are we crazy, or are we making it up? You know, because there's a fear that we are crazy. There's a fear that we really indeed are crazy. But, you know, it does feel that way to most mediums, I would say. To most of my students, it feels like, am I making this up? Do I need to go see a doctor? Because you know that it feels as if it's not yours, but it is in your own mind. So how can you differentiate? You know, how do you know the difference? How do you, you know, identify what's yours and what's not yours? And I think it's important to understand the difference between your human mind, right, and, you know, your mediumship mind. Even knowing your psychic space and your mediumship space, it really does help a great deal. So I think that, you know, when we begin, the first thing that I always think that I you know, see and I identify from students is them being very depleted. Because for the most part, when you are spiritual and you don't know it, you're walking around with your aura open. So your auric field is like your energetic body. And within that energetic body, again, you have those layers, those 7 layers. So if you don't know a lot about auras, I would suggest that you begin looking up information, and there's plenty of free information that you can indeed look up that will help you to understand the auric field. Again, you can also from there understand that the chakras are connected to you know, the auric field as well. And so, All of these things are connected. And when you start taking care of one, you begin to take care of the other, and your frequency starts to rise. And when your frequency starts to raise up, your chakras come into more of an alignment. Okay, your chakras can be looked at as energy centers, as antennas, and each of them are pertaining to a different area of your life. So when you're going through things in your life, that particular chakra, I'm sorry about that particular chakra could be underactive. It can be overactive. Sometimes a particular chakra is always balanced, but sometimes you're always working on one. And trust me, people think, oh my God, I check my chakras and 3 out of 7 were unbalanced, but really I always have a chakra that I'm working on. So so don't think that it's you possibly will have all 7 where they need to be, because then that would mean that life is perfect, and life is not perfect, as we know, unfortunately. We want it to be, for sure, but it's not. I think that believing in yourself is extremely important on this journey, and knowing what you know is making you feel good, is making you feel different, is what you should know and what you should hold on to. I feel that a lot of us, we change our thoughts and our goals based on the people around us. And so we live for, who we should be and not who we came to be. So, it's important for you to honor yourself. And even if it feels crazy, if it feels good, then that's where you belong. Then that's where you belong. Then that's where you should continue to move forward. As a beginner, the first thing I would suggest is spiritual hygiene. And that's why I'm having a workshop on that tomorrow, and I'm excited about it, because a lot of people talk about, again, the hygiene of the physical body, but they don't talk about the hygiene of the spirit body. And the spirit body truly is the shall we say, the energy, the battery for this vehicle, our physical body. And we don't talk about that. And so there's a lot that goes on within there, such as our aura, our chakras. All right, when we think things, we give birth to that energy, to those imprints. So every thought is an imprint. We've given life to it. Example, when you walk into a room sometimes that you've never been in, sometimes you say, oh my God, it feels stagnant in here. It feels stressful in here. You don't even know what you're saying, but you're psychically picking up the imprint of possibly an argument that happened in that room, or stress that was in that room. And you're saying it, but you're not even understanding that that's psychic, that you're picking up on the imprint within that room. We use our intuition a lot. So there's a lot of things that we do naturally, psychically, that we don't understand that we do. And I think that once we start the development as a psychic, we begin to understand how normal it is for us to think each other's thoughts. That's telepathy, to feel each other's feelings, clairsentience, okay? To hear our angels, our guides speak to us right before we get up from bed, or that voice that told you turn left, or watch it, there's an accident. We don't realize all these things are psychic. Everybody has the ability to strengthen those. And so when you are a person that is a natural sensitive, meaning that you're a deeper feeler, a deeper thinker, and I'm talking about subjectively, spiritual thinker, spiritual feeler, spiritual seer, then sometimes it's hard for you to communicate, and you become an introvert because people don't understand what you're going through, especially, unfortunately, parents. They'll say, shush, don't say that. What are you talking about? You can't see your aunt. That's past. That's uncalled for, you can't do that. You shouldn't do that. And so you shut it down. And sometimes that part of your soul goes, and you dig it into, the lower, the middle, or the upper world. And I learned that from, doing my shaman work. And so then you feel like something's missing your whole life for a long time. And it's that part of you that you shut down, because it was just easier to shut down than to continue to try to get people to understand. But again, they might not ever reach the sensitivity that you have to be able to see and feel and know what you do. So that's something that I would say to you guys to begin is, don't try to make somebody else understand what you feel, what you're seeing, and just simply embrace it, because they can't. Some people might not ever reach the level of full understanding. If you are a person that that has suffered because you are highly sensitive, it's hard to look at this as a beautiful ability to help people, because really the feeling of that person that's going to crash is terrifying, or feeling that the argument's going to happen, and then it happens, and then you start to realize that every time you get that feeling and the eternal alarm system goes off that something's happening, and you don't want it anymore, and you don't want to shut it down, and you don't know how to shut it down because you don't understand your auric field, you don't understand your chakras. And by the time people sometimes come to me, they're in the state that I was when I began, very depleted, dark eyes, shoulder pain, neck pain, stomach issues, gastritis, all these things going on in the body, going to the doctor, and the doctor saying, hey, there's nothing wrong with you. It's all in the energetic body. It's like, plumbing system, right? Water won't flow if there's a hair caught there, or there's something that was thrown in the toilet. It'll stop the whole flow. So that happens as well with our chakras, with our antennas. If something is definitely not taken care of, then we are going to be disconnected from that natural flow. And eventually it'll begin to feel like it's in our physical, and it's more energetic than it is anything else. So you guys want to be able to ground yourself. So figure out a way that will work for you to ground yourself, and shield yourself. Not shield yourself from evil or anything like that. I don't believe in that. But just, I like to say, zip up your energy for you to keep and no one to take. So see yourself in your own space, disallowing others to come in and consume your space. It's like, hey, stay the heck out of my bubble. That's your bubble. This is my freaking bubble, and that's it. And that's what's going to happen here. And so, when you visualize things, believe it or not, guys, you're creating it. You're giving life to it. Thoughts become life. You give birth to them. You do. It's that simple. Whether you can read all you want, you can try to make sense of it, but your human mind wants to understand something that it really, indeed, there's no understanding. It's something that you experience, okay? It's something that you really come to believe in. And so beginners, don't get discouraged, and start getting your energy levels high. That's where you start raising your vibration by grounding, by shielding, by understanding the auric field, by understanding the chakras. Once you gain the understanding, helping raise your frequency in those areas with crystals, oils, herbs, yoga, Zumba, teas, smoothies, oh my God, sound, aromatherapy, there's just so many things, color therapy. So you begin to raise that up. And then once you raise it up, you have to maintain it, keep it there. Use your aura mist. My favorite, and people hear me say it all the time, is Florida water. It's Florida water cologne, Violet water cologne, and moon water. And so how you make moon water, you just put a gallon of water under the full moon, and you bring it in the next day. And when you bring it in the next day, voila, then you use that for your mist. And you can do something as simple as this, make this little aura mist, and every morning mist yourself. Have a little one in your car, mist your car. What are we doing when we use this? It's not giving us any ability we don't already have. Let me clear that up. But it is helping us to come back to our original state, our original energetic state. When you're going about in the world and you're grabbing that gas pump, how many people grabbed that gas pump before you? When you're walking in a grocery store, how many people have walked in and out of that grocery store? Thousands of people. And never, ever has that space been cleared. Ever. Never. Okay? So can you imagine the energy? And that's why sometimes we're like, I don't like to be in big crowds. But if you think about where you're at, if you're in a club, how many people came in and out that club? How many people came in and out of that grocery store? Again, the movie theater. You're thinking it's the people, but it indeed is the people, the imprints of the people, but it's the imprints of the people before them, and the people before them, and the people before them. So by using up your energy for you to keep and no one to take, it allows you to sit in that space that you need to be in for yourself, to feel your own thoughts, to feel your own feelings, to know what you're hearing, and to be present with yourself. Okay? Because what happens is a lot of times we don't understand the aura, and that it needs to obviously be pulled in. The normal state of the aura is 1 inch around the body. So what happens as healers, sometimes if we're in a space and people need healing, whoop, it opens up. And that's before you begin to understand how to ground, how to shield, and how to set a bottom line and healthy boundaries for your spirituality. And so it opens up, and you don't know what's happening. You just know that you want to run out of the store. It's too much going on. You don't want to stay there because there's so much going on there. So beginners, this is not how it will be always. And you have control. You have control of setting the healthy boundaries. And you can say, you really truly can say, when I'm open, I'm open. When I'm not open, I'm not open. I walk alone, and that's it. You know, the spirit world, they don't want to hurt us. They don't want to spook us. They don't want to scare us. But they don't know everything either. If someone just passed and you open up, they're going to come in. They're still remembering the physical connection. So they're going to come most likely closer than somebody that's been over there a longer time, because they've lost a little bit of the memory and the recognition of how the physical body feels. So there can be many different reasons why sometimes they come in so close, but they never want to hurt us. And when we pull in our aura, there is no platform, shall we say, for them to come in from. First, let's start with that. Please don't think that, you know, they're following you, or you know, they're there and they don't want to leave. Now, I can understand how we would misinterpret that, because let's say, for example, a reader, somebody that's already reading, if they schedule an appointment and they scheduled it for a week out, their loved ones already lined up, like, yes, I'm going to get to communicate with my loved ones. They're already lined up and they're ready to go. So when you bring your awareness to the spirit world, whether you're meditating or you're going to do another reading, they might come in, okay, because they're already there waiting. So then that's when you're like, man, I keep seeing this man. This man doesn't go away. He's still here. But maybe he's just waiting to come through for the appointment. But that's why bottom line is important. You got to set your bottom line and say, hey, spirit world guides, when I'm doing a reading, I ask that only those, you know, connected to the sitter come in. And that those that are, you know, going to be coming in the future, wait until their loved one is in front of me in order for them to come forward, okay? So again, you know, when you talk to them, you have to do, like I like to say, ask and you shall receive. They're not gonna, you know, disturb you. They're not going to you know, do what they want. Are they always healed? Are they always hunky-dory? No, it's very emotional. Sometimes they come in with such emotional situations, and that's understandable. You know, just like we have thoughts here that we like to connect with, you know, there's thoughts that they like to connect with and make better. And so when they have the opportunity to do that, they do it, okay? So on Zoom, I have Jill. Hello, Jill. Hello, Lucia. Hello, Savannah. How are you guys? Welcome to my life. And does anybody have any questions? I see I have somebody on chat here. Hey, Nathan. I don't, give me a moment and then we'll talk about it. Thank you. Let's see here. Let's see what's the question. Hold on, I'll go to both places again. I'll go to Zoom and I'll go back to Facebook. Right now I am on Zoom. Oh, they just said hello, hello, hello. So if you want to come on and you want to ask a question on Zoom, you may do so as well. So no one has a question there. That was just a hello. Oh, hello, hello, hello. Okay, that was just a hello. So let me come back here to the Mediumship group and see if anyone has any questions there. Any questions about anything in reference to this journey? This is the subject for February. So this is why I have been posting these videos because I feel that it's extremely important. So how do you ground and shield? Well, what I suggest to my students is for them to become, to choose a tree of their liking. And every morning when they get up, visualize themselves as the tree, the roots deep, deep, deep in the ground, and the leaves high, 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 as high as you want them to be in the sky. And you become that tree. Now that helps your physical body to stay grounded and have a foundation. Okay, so now you're grounded, now your physical is grounded. And then for shielding, I like to say, visualize a 1-inch glass bubble and step into it. And the reason I like to use the symbology of the glass bubble is because, you know, when it's snowing and you're looking out at the snow from your window, from your home, you're warm, you're comfortable. You feel good. You know you're not going to be snowed on. If it's raining, you know you're not going to be rained on, but you can admire the rain, okay? But there's that comfort and that warmth. And so I like to use that symbology because it makes you feel comfortable. And again, everything is symbology, guys. Everything is symbology. What makes you feel comfortable is what you should use. But that is the foundation. Get creative with it. Make it what you want to make it. But again, those are the two ways that I suggest that you ground and shield, and I suggest that you do it every day. And if you're going somewhere where there is more than, a big crowd, you definitely can reground through the day. And if you have forgotten to ground, you could ground at any time of the day. Don't think because you didn't do it in the morning that you have to forget about it and start the next day. That's not true. You don't have to, okay? You don't have to. So here I have a question. I have Florida water that someone gave me, but how do you use it? So Jill, the Florida water can be placed in a mist like this, and you can use it for self, okay, by misting yourself in the morning and in the night, misting your pillows once a week. I suggest that you clear yourself daily, but then you clear your home weekly. And you would do that by misting the corners of your home with the Florida water. You could put a little bit of it with moon water, or something really cool that I started telling the students to do to attune the frequency of the water. If there's not a full moon and you want to clear your home and you don't want to bother anybody, give me a moment here. I'll show you. So Lori, thank you. My student is fantastic, and she actually came up with this idea, so I'm gonna give her the credit for it. But this is a Bluetooth water bottle, and you could put water in here, and you can play the Tibetan singing bowl, the Tibetan or a Tibetan singing bowl for 15 minutes of your choice. You could play the sound of on YouTube, and since it's right here on top, it will attune the water. So you want to do that for about 15 minutes. And if you have a Bluetooth, then all you have to do, right, is just put it on top of the gallon of water or next to the gallon of water for 15 minutes, and it'll tune it. So I think that's pretty cool. So again, that's how you could attune it. Now, let's say that you wanted to do them specifically for a chakra, then you could just play the Tibetan bowls, the Tibetan singing bowls for, let's say you wanted to make root chakra water, you would play the Tibetan singing bowl for the root chakra, and you would let it sit in the water for 15 minutes. If you don't have this, it's fine, and you have a Bluetooth speaker, just put the water next to it. Okay, makes sense. Isn't that cool, guys? That is so cool. You guys can definitely do that. I don't know how much this is because it was gifted to me, but I know she gave me the link. It's in my Chakra Pharmacy group. So if you haven't joined, join. It's called Chakra Pharmacy, and everything is in there in reference to my chakra prescription. And my students are brilliant. They take pictures when they're doing the chakra prescription, and just other great ideas. And again, thank you, Lori. This was Lori's idea. Her baby's idea. She's doing did mentorship with me as well for a bit. She's young and beautiful and bright, and of course we get great ideas from the youngsters. So that's how you could attune the water. And then you would add a little bit of Florida water, and then mist the corners of your home, mist yourself, your curtains, your shoes. Remember, because energy enters and exits your head and your feet. So mist your shoes and clear it, and just keep it that way. Another great thing that I like to do and say is have a little bowl with Himalayan salt, and keep that where you work. You know, your workspace at work, or your spiritual workspace at home, even in your bedrooms, and just empty it once a week. When you're doing the house clearing, empty it once a week. It's a great feeling. Beginners, you can also use Himalayan salt lamps. You could use diffusers and diffuse oils pertaining to the chakras. You could use the Florida water and put it in mop water. Mop your home. You could put it on a cloth, wipe your counters down, wipe your walls, wipe the handles. It's got alcohol in it, so it's awesome too to disinfect. So that's a couple things that I do. I like to add violet water cologne to it too. Oh my gosh, the best. The combination of the both is wonderful. We have another question here. Let's see. I like the visualization of the tree, quick and easy, and then the glass bubble with air conditioning. Yeah, right? Isn't that cool? Do you dilute it? Yes, you can dilute it with the water that you attune. Sorry, Lillian, I'm not sure how spirit sees us. For example, saying thank you for recognizing me at your wedding. How do they send symbols such as feathers, coins, etc.? So yes, the lid of the bottle is a Bluetooth. So they asked the lid of the. I'm charging it. So this is it's turning on now. I'll show you guys real quick. I'm gonna play something so you guys can hear it. This is really cool. Give me 1 second and I'll continue answering questions. So I was playing them earlier. This is the solar plexus one. Do Bluetooth. And I'm gonna connect to that one. One moment. Oh, I think it's dead. Oh, there we go. It's connecting now. So I turn it on. Connecting. Done. And it's playing the Tibetan singing bowls. Pretty cool. So spirit sees our colors. Okay, Natasha, going back to your question, spirit sees our colors, and they can see. That's interesting. Spirit sees our colors, but they can see objects because they can see the aura of the object, the color around it. So that's how they see the shape, I'm sure, right? And they utilize that to bring their soul, the presence of their soul to loved ones. Okay, so I'm assuming that it is the aura, right? That will bring them into the space of the item for them to be able to use it. Okay. And again, I don't know everything there is to know. I'm always learning for sure. But that is based on my knowledge, what I feel. Okay. So that's a little bit of conversation here on this topic. And I appreciate you guys joining me today. I am refreshing Facebook, so I'm hoping that I'm seeing your questions. But if I don't see them when I refresh, I will definitely go back. Oh, here I see one. Strange thing happened today. My door kept opening and closing today about 8 times. I sprayed sage in all corners and spoke loudly. Walk to the light if you need it. Only good is welcome here. The door opened one more time. Then it stopped for good. First time I ever experienced that. Well, you know, it definitely could be, you know, energy that it connected with the space, or the energy that connected with you. A lot of times first responders have those souls trying to get their attention, such as nurses, paramedics, firemen, policemen, you know. So sometimes they're trying to get our attention, and you did the right thing about saying, you know, go to the light, or shed light upon it. Never fear that. Never fear that. And what I would say is call on God and Archangel Michael to show or take anything where it needs to go, or just you can just turn it over to them, whatever it is. Good, Karen. I'm glad you have a lamp. And yes, Cindy, it is pretty cool. I think so too. So I'm going to leave that with you guys. I definitely appreciate everybody joining in here. And I appreciate everybody that is right now on Zoom with me. And again, I have Jill, Lucia, and Natasha. Thank you guys for joining. And all those that will benefit from this live, not only in this group, but on YouTube, thank you for joining. I hope that you take what you need, and I hope that this allows you to be able to begin your process as a developing medium and to raise your frequency. That's the key. Raise your frequency up. Understand the aura, understand the chakras. I do have a 3-day intensive for beginners that is going to be next weekend, and we still have openings. If anybody's interested, it's going to be online from the comfort of your home on February 23rd. It's myself and Allison Gannon, and it's going to be Friday from 4 to 8, then Saturday the 24th from 1 to 5, and then Sunday from 1 to 5. It's going to be an intensive, so you guys will be shown about clairs and how to identify the presence. How does it feel? How do you get relationships? How do you get evidence and information? Okay, and how do you maintain that? How do you expand from there? So again, we have that. Let's see, beginners. I think right now that's what I have for February in reference to beginners. And then in March, I'm doing a 4-day intensive. My 4-day intensive can be for mediums that understand how to link, but don't have experience on expanding, like meaning that you can feel the presence. The workshop will help you expand on how you feel the presence, what side do you feel the presence, and how do you expand on it. Let's see, I have my psychic class, which is a good place to start as well to work towards your mediumship, beginning in April. April 4th, I believe it is, and there's a psychic level 1 and a psychic level 2. So if you're interested in beginning, those are options that I can offer, but you don't need to take a class. You guys can learn about the aura. You can learn about the chakras all on your own. Use the little tips that I'm going to be giving. So this will be, I'll have another live, 2 more lives, so next week and then the beginning of the following week. So I'll be giving more information about you guys, for you guys, sorry. And, you know, I hope that you take what you can. And if you're not able to take a class, please don't be discouraged. Definitely continue to move forward. There's so much information about the aura and chakras online and how to balance them simply by affirmations that, you know, and or taking a salt bath or dipping your feet in sea salt, which is what, $2 to get some sea salt. So please don't feel discouraged if you don't have crystals or you don't have oils. You slowly will build that up, but have confidence in yourself and begin to raise that frequency. Once you do that, then your clairs will begin to strengthen, which is your clear feeling, your clear hearing, your clear seeing, your clear knowing. And from there, you'll really start to connect and have a relationship with the spirit world, and it will feel wonderful. So I like to say thank you, thank you, thank you again. It's a chakra. The other group is a chakra pharmacy. Yes, it's called the chakra pharmacy. And I offer my chakra prescription at different times of the year. If you're my student, it's always free. My full moon healings are free for my students. My workshops are free for my active students as well. And that's just an incentive to keep everybody going. I have a spiritual hygiene workshop tomorrow from 10 to 1 Central Standard Time online. And I am going to be offering the recording afterwards for 50% off the tuition. So I do try to be very fair and take what I'm doing. And I think that the recording part of what I'm doing is really beneficial. And it started off because of my Australia group, where there's a big time difference. So I start offering them the recordings of my workshops and my classes so that they're able to do it as a self-study. So if you're interested in that, just contact me. Again, you don't have to take any of these guys. I hope that I've given you pretty good information. And I know it seems like things that are very simple, but I'm telling you, they're amazing. They're amazing, and they'll help you to raise up and stay up. Raise up and stay up, because you need to raise up and stay up and connect with that upper realm, okay? So many blessings to you guys. And if you have any questions about anything else that I offer, please feel free to contact me at any time. Okay, and bye for now. Again, this is Lillian Suarez, and I appreciate each and every one of you guys. May you have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Bye for now, everybody.